saying in the previous guide, or the previous video, or the first part, I'm gonna act like this was totally part of my plan, totally. But what I'm going to say is what's gonna happen here. Shut up. Take your time. For the sense of this video and this guide, I will purposely go and throw this gun away. It means absolutely, positively nothing to me. But let's say you do care about this gun. You will care about the game or the gun that you are going to be using while doing this. So, yeah, you're going to care about your gun. I don't personally give a shit. So, let's say I want to go and swap out my ammo acquired for weak spot damage. I've taken up all 4 of my slots. There's nothing else in this that I particularly want no more. So I am taking this off. Like, there's nothing less I want here. Everything that was blue comes onto my new thing. The yellow represents my new gun. However, now that I have my 4 taken off, I cannot upgrade this anymore. So, as you can see, bam! My sniper rifle now has weak spot damage. Now, when you are upgrading your weapons, you will have maximum capacity to certain chips. This puppy is max across the board in all but 2 sections. This motherfucking gun has got all the way across the board max capacity. So when you are upgrading your gun, like let's say for my Type Z, like let's say for the extent I don't want experience points no more for this. This is true. I'm getting serious now. I do not want any experience points. I want instead, for this assault rifle, I want to go and have this do, let's say, bonus critical damage. I can now go through, I recommend just going to all your weapons. Every weapon I have is now displayed for this. But they only will show me critical damaged memory chips, which is highlighted in yellow. I am now going to go through each one of these. As you can see, there's different values in here. I'm not going to just be like, which gun do I want the least? Which gun is my best throwaway gun? Don't do it as a throwaway. Don't think, oh man, this is an epic, I want to keep this. Don't fucking waste my time. Don't waste your time doing this. It is a waste of your time to keep a gun over its rarity. Because let me tell you, this red right here, this red, it is better than, this red is better than this blue, or this legendary is outclassed by an uncommon. How is what you're asking. The memory chip that we are stealing here, that's a 5.64. 6.96. See the difference? See where your rarity really doesn't matter? But notice how here, in this blue, this tops my 6 points. And how it changes depending on what you got. Now, I'm going to use this red here as an example. Experience points. Critical. Confirm. I'm swapping it out. Notice how the exact point was 6.96 is what I'm going to be getting. 6.96 is what I will achieve to this gun. Now, this is where this gets real picky to the numbers. Go and aim for the highest, and I do mean the highest percentage possibly you could possibly do. Alright, I'm really looking through, I'm studying each of these. This is my next highest up. Technically, this is my next highest up, but I want that gun. So if you want the gun, ignore it. Just because this has the better percentage, this is superior. This is the best one. Because I'd rather have critical damage myself on my sniper rifle, I am actually going to choose... I'm going to go with the one slightly less... No, I'm going to actually... This is where it comes down into the mental... this comes down to how you wish to get things done. This really comes down to the decimal of how you wish to get shit done. And, like, all that other stuff. I'm not even joking with you when I say this. This is where you really got to think. Take your time and think. The more you think about what you're doing, the better you can do. Keep that in mind. So, as we're going to show here, as you see, I'm going to take the one with the 25 instead of my full capacity. I am actually going to take this out 25%. And here's that. Now, I'm going to click this through. This has been confirmed. I now have the 25%. I'm going to do this once more. Alright, we're still on the criticals. Now, for instance, 25.94, 16. Alright, let's take this, add this on. Now, you're going to say, oh, it's going to give me 41%. Wrong. This is going to up this by 2, maybe 3 points best. This is why you want to be careful and really go picky with the decimals. Go as high as possible, because if I chose that 16 over the 25, that 16 would have been my value, and it would have went maybe a few points higher with the 25, but in all reality, it really would not have even been worth choosing my 16 over the 25. Choose the highest percentage you want. Do not choose the lower value for a cheapskate gun. The only time you choose and ignore the gun you, ignore your gun is when you don't want that gun. When you don't plan on using it. When you are doing that, you got to be smart. Choose to ignore the guns you are going to use, not planning on using. So if you plan on using, let's say, a rocket launcher, and you really do plan on actually using it, then leave it. But if you were like, oh, well, it's legendary, I don't want to get rid of it, I shit out legendaries in this game. There's nothing impressive about legendaries. My red sword will top a legendary sword. Guaranteed. So, with that being said, choose the higher percentage and think about your next moves. The higher percentage, sure, the slower it goes up, yes, but it saves you so many points of your chips, as well as so much credits too. Granted, I'm rich as fuck, I don't have to worry. But obviously this isn't everyone. They're not rich as fuck. So yeah. So you got to go through and you got to be smart about the percentages. This is where we're not getting mathematical here. This is just where you have to choose the best next thing. Now, I am going to actually, this time I'm clicking pause. When you pause this, not click X, when you pause this, or when you're selecting multiple, these guns blacked out. They blacked out for one or two reasons. Number one, they do not share memory chips. Like, this is trade value. This does not hold any trade value on it. This has the mechs. This has mechs. I can combine the two, but this is equipped. Everything else, though, fair game. Now, I'm going to legitimately come back through and choose something. Look, 2 legendaries. Oh my, 2 legendaries. Fuck that one. I want this one. I don't plan on using these. This has the better percentage rate over this one. I want to keep a peacock shotgun for myself. I'm going to go through. Useless, 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 useless. All these are useless in my eyes. Useless. I'm keeping that. I like that. It's a special gun. I like keeping special guns. I'm up there in level. I have my set weaponry where I get to go and stick around with guns. Otherwise, as you can see, I'm just going through and I'm literally trashing all these for my sheer pleasure. As you can see, it says one or more memory slots are already fully enhanced and cannot be enhanced further. Yes, that's just saying, hey, I have stats up there that's fully boosted. Now, you just seen, I went through and clicked quite a few guns. And notice how my percentage barely went up 2% for my auto reload, which is exactly what I was after. Even on my bullet circularization speed, went up 2%. This is why you need to choose the high percentages over the low percentages, because now that I'm doing this, it shows it's going to go up slower. It also costs me less memory chips, which I only have 153 of. Let's say you do run out. I'm going to choose my sniper rifle here. I'm going to actually, once again, I'm being serious about this. I want critical damage up here. Alright. I'm going to keep going. I don't want none of these. Don't want. And bam. I'm gonna just keep upgrading and then just throw that through. Once again, this time I want critical rate. I'm gonna just keep going because my gun is already preset. I don't have to, I'm just rushing through this because I already have this all preset for my game to go. Notice how I cannot... Oops. I can't do this no more. I'm out of chips. Alright. Buy that through. I am completely out of chips now. Cannot upgrade no more. Now, what I just did, you might look at me like, what did you just do? That was just me going through and purposely spending through weapons that I already had preset, pre-planned. Everything I had up there was planned accordingly, and I knew I was going to get. Nothing there has changed. I was purposely running through my guns because the stats on those were unimportant to the cause of this video. I already had them maxed to an extent, and I did not plan on changing any of those. Only just trying to rush through those to go and make a point here. Now, up at this guy, as you've seen, I went up the staircase up here. I went up the staircase, which is directly above Argo. You can actually see her from up here. Well, you could see her if, the camera was a better aligned, but as you can see, Argo's still there. I'm directly above her now. And you just run past her, and you could get here. And just buy, and you could easily just, buy max transformation chips, call it a day, and then you could go back. And you could keep doing this. This guy right here, let me tell you, he's your best friend as well. For a shop owner, he is extremely useful because he sells you materials and only materials, whether it be for enhancing, transformation, unlocking, or just for other stuff. He sells you a bunch of stuff, even if it is some pretty steep prices, he will sell it to you. The higher your game difficulty, the more he will sell. The lower it is, the less likely he's going to sell you anything of use. So I'm going to run back over and go back to Kibito's home and continue on with the transformation here. Because I'm not done explaining this. I'm going to just keep doing this over and over and over, explaining myself. After the third time of explaining myself, you probably should have gotten the point now. Alright, transform. Once again, I'm going to put this up. I want my crit rate this time. This is a preset sniper rifle. Everything on here, like I said, I want. Now, as you can see now, alright, as you can see, I am now capable of re-putting out these guns. I'm even gonna smack that up here. Oops. As you can see, everything is jumping up in stats now. As you can see, memory chips are also being jumped up, even though I was after crit rate. That's because they shared the same weapon, like they shared the same status, the same weapon chips, and those chips are stacking. As long as the weapon holds the same chip, it stacks. I'm going to, this time, I'm wanting weapon attack up here. Everything, oh no, I want the world. Hold on. What? What? Hold on. Why is this not allowing me to take it? Is it because... No, it's not because... I don't know why it's not being... Alright, you go through. I want that. Let's trash that. Oh, that's a nice looking gun. I'll keep that. Trash. Trash. Put this through. As you can see, once more, I chose some more guns this time. All my stats are going up now. And now, bam. As you can see, it keeps stacking my guns. Alright. Physical attack now. I don't want to take and do that, but I will take, throw these 3 up there. Those 3 up there. Those up. And you kind of just see that obviously I have no desire for none of these guns. These guns are inferior to my main guns in every possible way. Damage-wise, memory chip-wise, because they are not my main guns. And later in the game, as you go through, you'll actually be gaining a lot of guns. A lot of these are just guns I found while randomly running through the game, exploring, and just kind of just playing throughout the game, just unlocking. So do not sell useless guns that you don't particularly like. Just hold on to them temporarily, just hold them on, and take it to Elizabeth. This way you save money getting the guns, and on top of saving the money to get the guns, you are just saving the time and the effort, and you can get rid of it. Now, you will get guns that are likely to not suit you, or guns that you won't combine, and as you go through this, you'll start running through, and you'll eventually get guns that you cannot combine, or memory chips you do not want. I'm not going to get into the fundamental details of what you would like. About the actual exchange, though. Excuse me. So I cannot, will not, and shall not get into all the different fundamentals about each of the different memory chips that can be, or not memory chips, but stuff like that. Like ammo acquired is a trait that I particularly don't need. Now, one thing I do like doing is, in my suggestion, I'm going to actually use my particular set of preferences here. Each gun that I mainly use, so let's go with my Type Z Longstroke. It has damage against mechs, lifeforms, and humanoids. Mechs, lifeforms, humanoids. Humanoids, lifeforms, mechs. See the common trend here in my guns? Mechs, lifeform, humanoids. Every weapon that I've been using these particular sets. That is my preference. What this does is I'm going to explain every type of, every memory chip filter now. Every single memory chip, I'm explaining it. Weapon attack. This is your overall attack for your weapon. This works on every type of weapon. No weapon is exempt from this. So, if you have a sword, weapon attack. If you have a grenade launcher, weapon attack. Sniper rifle, weapon attack. It will boost up the damage a gun deals, or your sword. Physical attack. This has to deal with, as you see my sniper rifle, it says physical attack. Physical, 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 physical. Physical, 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 physical. Explosive. Physical and explosive. Optimal and explosive. See the differences now. This is for weapons that says physical. Now, if I'm not mistaken as well, let's go here. Let's go to physical attack. Shut up. Just go with it. Alright. Oops. As you can see, 9%. Physical attack doesn't work on swords. It might actually. Hold on. Let me try a better weapon. Alright. None. Alright, so let's go to my blue rose here. And now I want physical attack. I said, stop it. Quit being a bitch. Blue rose. Physical attack. Alright. Unlock. Physical attack. Notice how there ain't no change in damage? Physical attack doesn't work with swords. And the sword that I used was nothing more than a regular sword. Like, this is an actual sword, by the way. This isn't one of those proton swords. This is a real sword. Proton, proton, proton. But physical attack don't work with that. Weapon attack does. Optimal attack. If I'm not mistaken, let's choose this once more. Optimal attack. Optimal attack. Let's add optimal attack. Alright. Optimal attack. Notice how I didn't up it? It's because optimal don't help swords. Swords are exempt. Swords, you need weapon attack. Weapon attack is definitely a sword exclusive. You want to up the physical attack to your sword, you must do weapon attack only. Physical, optimal, explosive, all that is useless to the sword. So, how you can tell what type of attack is for what is when it says physical power. These are all physical attack weapons. OPT is optimal power, which would be your optimal attack. When you see a gun with explosive, the explosive is for the rocket only. So, if I was to go over to physical, you know, let's tag on these puppies. My attack power went up a tiny bit for this. I'm gonna just pop that through. My optimal went up a little bit. Or my explosive attack went up a little bit. Explosive is for rockets only. I know I said that during the weapon arts for your assault rifle, you gain bonus, you will get an explosive-like shot. This does not affect your explosive shot. Your weapon arts is not boosted during this time. Explosive attack power does not work with your weapon arts for assault rifles. Do not be a fucking moron. Although, I can say from personal experience, I myself have tried this. That's how I know, and I'm calling myself a fucking moron now. See, as much as I ridicule you guys, I'm ridiculing myself because I have fucked up quite a bit, and because I fucked up, I know I'm not the only one who's gonna do it. So, this is why I made this, or I'm making this guide in multiple parts, mainly because it was an error. But as shown, fully explaining everything, the length of this guide will be useful. Plus, I'm literally smashing everything in a single fucking guide instead of making multiple videos, because I don't need the views. I want to go and make something for somebody to actually learn instead of having to have the troubles like I had of having to dig. But, like I was saying, your weapon, or oops, wrong one. Your weapon, each attack is meant for a specific type of weapon besides weapon attack, which is overall for physicals only, optimal, and explosives. So now we're going to get into the 3 damage versus types. Alright, so damage versus humanoids. This is for NPC players only. So let's say you go into BOB and you are fighting off Len. Len is a humanoid. If you're running around and you see player handgun in board, this is meant for them. This will cap out at 29.50 and at 25.50 only. Now, I did some solid digging, and I do mean some solid digging, to where I could actually, some good fucking research to do this, to where I could actually tell you all the memory chips and their max capacity as we go through. So, with that being said, I'm going to go back up to our weapon attack. So, with how this is, the max memory chip for your weapon attack power will be 22%. Your physical attack will be 29.5. Optimal and explosive also cap out at 29.5. Your damage against humanoids, life forms, and machines, or mechs, all max out at 29.5. So, damage against life forms, this is including humans, scorpions, beetles, bugs, etc., etc., etc. Any living or living being. Anything that's alive. Anything that is not a robot. Facsimiles, I want to say those are also humanoids. I don't quite know for sure. They might be mechs. I am not quite sure what the fuck facsimiles is. Because they act like humans, they shoot like humans, but they don't look like humans. So, it's always confused the shit out of me. So, I don't know everything about the game, but by ensuring all three of these, you're guaranteed to do bonus damage to 29% more to each of these. Now, damage against mechs or damage against robotic players. So, like most of your enemies in this game will be mechs. There will be times when you do deal with life forms and humanoids, but your main opponent will be mechanical enemies. Capiche? Good. Now, damage to off-guard enemies. This will max out at 44.5%. You will deal more damage to enemies when you're not in battle. So what I mean by that is literally, like, let's say I'm running around. This is great for sniper rifles and ranged weapons, or weapons that have ranged, or if you could kind of sneak around and not get noticed for a minute. When you pretty much use this to 44%, this is kind of like a sneak attack, for say. It's sneak attack, really, actually. I think that's the best way to put it. So pretty much if I was to snipe an enemy half across the damn map, this will deal 44% more damage, because, they're not expecting it. They are off guard. Next, we have damage from behind. This also hits up at 44.5. This is pretty much this is damage dealt at close range to the back. Like pretty much if you're using a shotgun and it's like if you're using like a sword or whatnot, shotgun, and you come up from behind and shoot them in the back or smack them in the back, it does more damage. It's a backstab medal. How about that? You get rewarded for being a coward and hiding behind people, or doing things behind the back. Next, we have damage when max HP. What this does is at 29.5%, your damage is increased while you are at max health P. So pretty much for a tank like myself, if I was to deal more damage at max HP, I could literally pop this on a gun as a tank, constantly be regenerating at unridiculously unbelievable speeds, and I will literally deal more damage since I'm always up at a max HP. It doesn't have to be perfect HP. It just has to be above a certain percentage of damage. Next up, you have damage when you are near death. This increases to 44.5%. Your damage is increased the lower your health is. So the higher you are, the more damage. The lower you are, the more damage. See how this works here? Next, you have weak point damage, which I already said, which is pretty much like, where enemies are more vulnerable, like humanoids are vulnerable to headshots. This goes up to 29.5%. Next is critical damage. Critical damage will max up at 44.5%. And this will pretty much, when you hit a critical, this will deal more damage, where critical rate is the rate of which you will gain it. Both of these are at 44.5. Next up is debuff stacking. And this is, another thing on its own, but pretty much with debuff stacking, this maxes out at 37%. And this pretty much increases your chance of inflicting debuffs and, like the bad status, like suppression on your enemies when attacking. Your bullet circularization speed, this, in my opinion, it's relatively shit, but this will go and, it's good for like machine guns, assault rifles, and Gatling guns for say, but this stops at 147.5%. And this stabilizes quicker. This is also good for quick scoping for like snipers and stuff, so it's not entirely useless, but eh. Now this is the accuracy of your bullet circle. This maxes out at 111%. This pretty much when you are aiming with aim assist, this will make your bullet circle smaller, thus allowing a more pinpoint strike precision, allowing the best of the best. Auto reload. This is one of my favorites because this is so fun to play with. But what auto reload does is pretty much whenever you're using a clip, let's say in a shot, or let's say you're using a handgun, full auto, or SMGs, you're using full auto SMGs, you run out of bullets, it will literally instantly reload, and you will just keep taking bullets. It's pretty much like a Call of Duty stock option, where it won't fucking take ammo from you, but it'll just take it from your magazine instead. Like, it'll run down your ammo clip, and it'll just refresh without having to stop firing, so you can literally just stand there and literally go toe-to-toe with something, firing the shit out of each other. In my opinion, it is one of the most satisfying, and I do mean satisfying, things you could get, because, yeah, fuck yeah, it's hilarious to watch. But otherwise, this maxes out at, I want to say, if I recall correctly, 74.5%, just at the top of my head. Next up, we got ammo required. This literally means that if you kill somebody, this increases the chance. This will make them drop ammo for you. This is capped out at 111%, or not 111%, but 295%, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get a ton of ammo, so you never run out. Ammo capacity increases the ammo capacity of your gun. This will go on this is increased to 74.5%. Metal gauge is pretty much the gauge of which you need for your weapon arch to charge. Very important. This maxes out at 37%. Trade value, this is useless. And this is experience, meaning if you kill something using this gun, you will gain more experience at 22% at max. Otherwise, effective range is how far you could hurt something with your ranged attacks. This does not work on swords, but this stops at 37%. Overheat is for Gatling guns only, and this will go and stop at 27%. Whew. Now, I am fucking exhausted after fucking saying all that, because hot damn. But you can kind of deal with weapon transforming there. After explaining what every memory chip does, it should help you understand what to put on your guns to match your playstyle the best. Lastly, we have overclocking. Weapon overclocking is the essential, or not even essential, it's pretty much, let's say my shotgun here cannot be upgraded no more. It cannot be enhanced. My memory chips are maxed out pretty much across the board. I cannot up the power no more out of my memory chip, so I must use overclocking chips. As you can see, it barely jumped up my power and my weapons, but let me go to, let's say, my this peacock instead. This is 1%. Okay, give me a weapon. Okay, let's try this shotgun instead. Fuck you. Okay, it's not going to jump up too much, but it'll jump up in power. It allows you to enhance certain degree of times. I can only enhance the shotgun 46 times, 48. This one I can enhance over 110 or 110 times. So I can just keep enhancing my power. Thank you. Although, like, overclocking chips are only there to increase weapon power. That's it. The power of your weapon, nothing more, that's it. What more is there to say? On top of that, the only place you could get overclocking chips is by beating bosses. Bosses have a chance to drop them, and the more bosses you kill and just spam the bosses, grind the bosses, you could get these. So, not much to really say about that. Like, it's literally, it's as simple as it comes. Asuna, how you doing, you bitch? She can make outfits. So, how you doing, doll? How you doing back there? Who's a good little girl? Who's my good little Lali-chan? Let's go. But that's pretty much the fundamentals of weapon enhancing. There's one last thing that I need to go and make sure to go and explain to you guys, and that is your accessories. The last fundamental part of any operation, and then I will go into battle for you guys to kind of showcase some of how the game space mechanics work. Alright. How you doing? No. No. Thank you. No. So pretty much whenever you talk to your Arphasis, whenever I talk to Doll, she will go and ask for a new outfit occasionally, as well as ask for a new haircut. You could deny those. Those are all cosmetics. They don't actually do nothing besides make sure that your Arphasis is looking nice. There's one more thing I forgot to, or a couple of things I forgot to mention is later in story, especially for new players. This is vital for new players especially. But in your Arphasis menu, after you progress later, you will start to go and unlock features for your Arphasis unit. The number one thing you need is your banking. Excuse me. And in the banking of the game, it will show you how much money you have in your bank as well as in your wallet. You could also give your Arphasis money. There you go. You're welcome. Moving on. But as you could see, there's different things you could do with your money. You could go to the shop, buy stuff from the shop. You could go to the pretty much the shady shops, buy it from there. Money can be useful everywhere, and let me tell you, money is your damn best friend, and you will chew through it once you know what you're doing with it. So that's why I highly recommend when you're doing your shopping settings. Alright, so shut up. Alright, so this is where you could easily figure this out if you read, but I'm gonna just explain this and what this does anyways for you. So as you can see, you have multiple options here. Oops, get back in the baking. So obviously, as you can see, the allowance that I just gave her, you can go into shop settings, and then she will go and buy stuff for you. You could tell her to go and be picky about how much she spends. pretty much whenever if you choose to go and make it like if you have her spend very lowly, she will buy you pretty shit or lower end items. If you tell her to spend in oops. Back off. Shut up. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I was. Shut up. Thank you. So pretty much when you would you shut up? So pretty much when you choose the Frogly, she pretty much when you pretty much tell her to not spend, she will spend on low end quality items. In moderation, she'll spend about half of what she has, but she'll make sure to keep some of it so she could keep spending. Then if she spends freely, if there's anything in game, she will buy it for you. Like she can make sure, like she will spend some of the coolest things. So like she could buy some pretty badass things. For the moment, I have her prioritizing materials for me. I will have her spend freely. I like having my officer spend freely because, yeah, she could come up with some really good stuff that could come in real handy. Otherwise, you could go and have her prioritize for weapons, to where she will buy you better or where she will buy you guns, swords, etc. I don't particularly think too much of it. I haven't really had her prioritize weapons. Accessories, I will not have her do that. That's my personal preference, but she will get you accessories. And once you find a set of accessories that work for you, you won't need any more. At least with weapons, you can at least go and continuously use them to make new ones and to perfectly enhance and to go and make your weapon invincibly powerful. I like keeping materials because, as you've seen while enhancing weapons, the first thing I showed in the last part, it takes materials to go and, to do that. Hunting for bargains, well, I'm not exactly sure what the fuck that means. I want to say it's probably like if something, like, it's pretty much, for bargains, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty much you'll buy any of the three at good prices. So, like, I like keeping her on materials, as materials literally is what you need in this game. Fuck the new shit. Hell with all that shit. Keep it, like, your materials will be ran through faster than anything. Her allowance is what allows her to spend the money. So if you give her only 1,000 coins, she's not gonna buy you jack diddly squat. Like, really, come on now. That's why if you see my offices, like, don't ask. I gave her a lot of money. Didn't I just give you like 10,000? No. Fuck off. But otherwise, the most important part about the banking, and definitely the most valuable part of the game that, she will be dealing with as you're running through the game, and something I highly recommend doing at such a low level, or as soon as possible. Like, once you unlock the banking features, you want to go down to your saving settings. Here you will... Okay, I'm done fucking with it. Thank you. So pretty much what I like doing is when you just have the deposit percentage up, what this will do is up to a certain degree, up to half of what you have, it will deposit 50 or 0 to 50% of your current credits. When you do this, it will pretty much say, if you were to sell, let's say, a beautiful diamond, those cost 1 million coins. When you sell those, it will go and put 500,000 away into your balance. Now, I purposely have it at half of the amount, so that half of my money is constantly getting put into the bank, so I don't hold on to unnecessary money. So when I do need money, like if I looked at my wallet and I seen I only had 45,000, I could go to my balance and see I have significantly more, because I've literally let half of my money just kind of stockpile in there over the time. So I highly recommend keeping it at 50%. Are you done speaking? Thank you. I swear, I oughta duct tape your mouth shut sometimes. I oughta ball gag you, actually, now that I think of it, but we ain't getting into that. So pretty much when you go and put interest, if you put minor interest into your bank, this will pretty much make your money go up slowly. But, I mean, it's a more guaranteed rate, where at a normal rate, you'll get, roughly about the same interest, but at a major rate, though, you'll get a pretty big, you get a small amount to a big amount, and it could jump quite a bit in, in your investments. Pretty much what this is saying is it'll go and have a chance of, really investing and really getting extra money over the span of 3-ish missions, if I'm not recalling. And pretty much, like, it has a chance of messing, like, it won't mess you up. It will just give you more money at the chance of giving you less than 100%. But ultimately, I recommend putting at major with 50%. This way you will go and get maximum value of your money at a faster rate. And then you could withdraw and deposit money via checking balance. Alright, thank you. Such a good little girl. I oughta pat you on the head. I'm just too busy and I don't need people judging me. So, alright, so this portion of the game is a DLC part. This portion of the game is for pros and returning only. New players, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you right now until you go and beat the DLC of until you get the quest and beat the quest. It's a swap quest here. You must go and where the fuck is it? It's supposed to be somewhere in here. You must be a level at least 100, and you must have the following to go and get this started. This is a DLC quest, if I'm not mistaken. It might be, I don't actually recall, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think this is a DLC quest. I think this is just one of those things that it's easier to get while in the DLCs. Because the FL type AM material and the flight reactor, those are all easier to get in DLC locations like the Demon Cave. So I'm just saying. But pretty much the general point of this, you need to have this quest done, and this is definitely for later in the game, and it's a lot easier to get in the DLC shit. So I don't want to say it's guaranteed to be DLC only, but I wouldn't exactly expect new players to get this anytime soon. Hell, I highly doubt that players who are still around 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 100 probably not have this anytime soon. This is definitely a later game quest due to the amount of money you'll need. And if you're still leveling up, I guarantee if you're actually trying to deal with your money and deal with the game correctly or wisely to go and really boost yourself, you'll actually go and be spending a lot of money trying to make sure to make yourself powerful as you go through, instead of trying to last minute yourself and making life a lot harder. So, but you will need this house or the home reform upgrade to go and get into this portion. Otherwise the door will be red and locked out and you cannot come in here. So pretty much the point of coming back here is it will give you the chance to get requests from every player in this room as side quests, and they will all give you a special quest concerning murdering things, finding things, etc, etc, etc. They will all give you miscellaneous quests which you could use to unlock rewards. They will, as you go through as well, you will also get to go and find, your quest will allow you to get the music library and other miscellaneous stuff, voice lines as well. You could also get the you could hear the voices. So if I want to, I could just spam the voices if I really want to hear all the voice lines. And if I really want to do that and stuff like that, I could just kind of go with that. So, but I mean, it's just extras so far. But for the most part, being that this is just an expansion, this is here mainly just for funsies. The only thing you do need in this expansion is from Elizabeth here. Told you she's your best friend. I wasn't lying. She not only upgrades your guns, but she also makes you this machine right here. This machine is an OP fucking machine here, because once you find a set of equipment that you like your accessories, you get to once again enhance and improve your accessories. On the other hand, unfortunately, unlike your guns, you cannot transform them. What I mean is you cannot take certain pieces of accessories and move it to each piece. You will have to grind out each accessory and hope for the best. So with my accessory pieces, I have Doll wearing her promise ring and her rabbit cap. And, I gave her the following stats. My stuff, on the other hand, is about weight, recharge, etc., etc., etc. As you can see, all but my instant death and my blaze and recovery are maxed out here. What this will allow you to do is, once you get the items, you get to enhance this, each particular item. Because I am wearing that, I cannot upgrade it. Could I please just get something I could randomly upgrade? I just want to randomly upgrade some shit. Okay, so like with this thing, I don't think I need anything. No, that's pretty valuable right there. Fuck, do I not have anything worth, or it's so cheap in upgrading? Hot damn. This is why I have Doll get me a bunch of materials. Okay, finally. You know what? I could deal with this. So as you can see, from what you see, the reason why I have Doll get me those materials over guns and accessories is, yeah, she could buy accessories that I could put on to come and put on this. But as you could see, I need 4 separate material types for each of these. And then I'm required at least 2, 3, and then 30. I could up this up by 9 or 1.9%. So I could pretty much I'll be upping this by to almost like about 5 to 6% blaze damage, give or take. I just went, and due to my playstyle and my main weapons, I actually chose something to go and befit what I would use. Because of my gear weight almost being maxed out, I went and chose to go for gear weight, and I maxed out 2 things with my weight being reduced down by 44%. I also manually put in something to make me move faster, as well as something to boost recharge time, as well as my attack power with gadgets. So I could put stuff like landmines, grenades, combat knife, all that other stuff, to allow me to be more effective in all the range instead of just relying on my guns. But like I said, it's all about personal playstyle, and you could go on and modify each of these particular things as is. And that's what this machine's for. There is a quest that is, like I said, given by Elizabeth, and all this does is it enhances your stats to a certain degree. And now I will give you every motherfucking stat in the game. So pretty much I'm going to simplify all your 6 basic status, all the way from strength all the way down to luck. All this does is to a hold on, give me 2 seconds. Shit. Excuse me, Cammy. was my baby girl. You was my baby girl. Who's your fluffy puppy? Who's my fluffy puppy? You are such a good girl. My apologies again. But like I was saying, it will upgrade all your base status up by a total of 30 points. So, for an example, as you can see, I have on doll, this is currently equipped. I can upgrade my strength, my vitality, my intelligence, and her agility. I can and will upgrade all of them by 30 points each. So if I really wanted to, I could find 2 of these puppies and up her stats up by 60 points of strength, vitality, intelligence, agility. So what already could be a 255 max vitality, which is the maximum health, I can put her up to 310. No, 315 if I'm not mistaken. If I'm doing the math correctly in my head. She could be 300 in literally 315 overboard and be the toughest motherfucking thing to kill. Not to mention the fact she will be incredibly smart, making her allowed to use, guaranteed to use almost any gadgets or anything in game. Her recharge time will be incredible, all that other stuff. So depending on each stat you choose to put on, your character, these could go and boost that to a whole nother extent. So if you want to go and let's say you're like, okay, I plan on popping on 2 accessories with these memory chips, that will go and boost up each of these stats. For let's say I want to go and have more strength, you could actually, instead of trying to go overboard with carrying with your strength, what you could do for a good set of advice is you could grab accessories with strength on it, max it to 30, a pop like I did with my weight, how I went and stacked it to where it's at 44%. You could do the same, make it 60, and then after you max it up to 60, you could take those 60 points you was originally going to take and put into a weapon, and you can actually put those skill points into your health or luck or something else, instead making it stronger to where you will be more balanced as well. So pretty much what this does is it's pretty much free CP. Otherwise, you have the following memory chips. You have your gadget attack, which like I said will boost up the attack to your gadgets, etc, etc, etc. Pretty much if I put a landmine, knife, whatever it may be, I could go and boost up the attack to my gadgets. Granted, this doesn't help my medkit because it's attack, not gadget use, but gadget attack. Meaning they have to be offensive, fighting. I don't think I have any other ways to say you have to be an aggressor about it. But you could up your percentage to 29.5. Then your physical defense, this will go in pretty much how players get to go and use optimal and physical attack as well as explosive and melee. Pretty much the 4 attack types that the players get to use. You will find enemies who use these exact same things, and so you will be able to up them and cancel them all out by 18.25%, if I'm not mistaken. I'm more than sure though. This is the same with humanoids. You could deal more damage against the same 3, like I said when I was explaining the weapon chips. Same thing. You could deal more damage against them, but this time you will reduce the damage. So instead of taking more damage to, let's say, life forms or the humanoids, since humanoid players are tougher to kill, you could actually reduce their power and their damage input to you by 18.25. This goes to all three of these as well. So all these, you could up your defense by 18.25. Keep in mind as well, let's say you do up your physical attack by 18.35. Or 25, my bad. You increase this by 18.25. Do the math real quick. You could times that by 2, making that about, give or take, about 30... Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna just fucking do the math. I'm gonna just fucking pull up a calculator. 18.25 times 2. That's 36.5. Then, now this is where this is gonna get very nice. This is where a good set of thinking and a good accessory can come into play. So my physical defense can be upped, and all of these can be up to, like, your physical optimal explosive melee can all be up to 6 or 36.5 if you have 2 accessories with the physical optimal explosive and defensive to melee. Now, this is where this can get very nice. Depending on if your accessories also have defense against one of the following, if not multiple, you can actually times that by 2, because technically, if you have 2 accessories with humanoid reduction and physical reduction, and they're using, let's say, sniper rifle, both of those would be 36.5 times, and then you have 2 of them, that will be 73% damage reducted from, let's say, humanoid or enemy players, mechs, etc., depending on the type of attack they plan to use against you. Now, this isn't always going to be the case, but it can be the case if this is the way you choose to build your character. Moving on, you will next get blaze damage. Blaze damage does less damage to you. This is the same with poison as well. There's a poison status effect and a blaze status effect. This will reduce the damage that is dealt to you when somebody uses these types of alignments on you. I mean, these ain't necessarily the worst, but this also reduces the status as well by 18.25%. Nothing too special, but it is relatively nice. Next up, we got debuff resistance. This will go and give you less chance of being hit with debuffs. So pretty much it's less likely you get set on fire, suppression, etc. And this can be reduced down to 29.5%. Debuff duration. So whenever you use, let's say I use Power Form 1 on my character, and I activated the boost. If I have debuff that is considered a debuff. When you have debuff duration, though, this will increase your time of which that debuff will remain active. This will remain active for 29.5% longer than it normally would have. Blaze reduction is the same as poison and blaze damage. This one's the resistance, though. Same with suppression, magnetic. All these are the same exact thing, but for the different debuffs that could be in the game. The resistance can be buffed up by 29.5, and there's a less chance of being afflicted with these. Not that it will, it just makes it harder. Then you have health recovered over time, is exactly what it sounds like. When it, over a span of time, right? Over like a minute, give or take. So, over a minute, it will regen whatever percentage of health on there. So, as an example, I actually have, right here, 118% of my max health recovers over the span of 1 minute. So, as long as I'm running around the map and I'm not really taking too much damage, but I need to regen, it's a passive regen to your name that will continuously heal you over a small portion over the span of a minute. The higher it is, the stronger your effects, and the stronger it will regen you. So when I have, let's say my AR Veil, which has been seen in my gadget set, I could actually throw that down, crouch down behind it, and it will regen my life. Then I could activate a healing kit, thus regenerating my life even faster. That is what this does right here. Now, granted, out of everything, this can definitely be... How to put this? This can be useful, and it has came in handy quite a bit while playing this game. I will admit, if I didn't have that small little bit of a boost coming around, I probably would have died quite a bit. Now, I don't actually know the max to this one, but yeah. So I cannot give you a percentage like I usually would have, but moving on. Alright, but next you do have max health point. This is exactly what it sounds like. You gain more maximum health, making you tougher to kill, up to 29.5%. So if you have a ton of fucking health points as is, you can in fact up your health to an astounding amount of health, making you, I'm going to say, ridiculously fucking hard to kill, because that's just... Yeah, I definitely, I'm more than aware of that. Especially for my combo build, I need the weight reduction for sure, for sure. I agree. I definitely agree with the comment that Mr. Ray put here. I'm assuming it's Ray, Mr. Don't fucking sue me over the wrong pronoun. I'm not here for that political shit. But yes, weight and movement speed is a great combo. The less weight you have on you, by the way, the faster you move. Something that I will get to once I get down to that memory chip, but definitely something that was good to be thrown out there for memory builds. But yeah, no, maximum HP, all it really does is exactly what it sounds like. It gives you more HP. When you use a healing kit, such as your first aid, that's what HP recovery does, is this will go and allow you to recover more HP faster with your memory kit. This can be up by 147.5%. So pretty much you can heal that much faster at the time. Your movement speed, which is like your there's no detectability percentage here from my knowledge. It's literally, you're just harder to see. I don't know how other than to explain it than you're just stealthier. Like, I don't know any other way to explain it. Otherwise, movement speed, like, it's as simple as it sounds. You move faster. You reload faster. Yes, both of them do come together. Because if you use speed form, I'm gonna say 4. Because speed form 4 is the maximum you could get. You will actually reload your guns faster. You will notice your guns reload faster. Your melee swings, I want to say, are faster as well when you have speed forms and stuff on. Movement speed affects all of this, as is literally your ability to move. It's not just down to your character's ability to just run around the map. Although it is relatively more or less just that, but it does have small, lighter effects to the side that a lot of players just kind of overlook. But this can be up to a maximum of 14.5 if I'm not mistaken. So, your reload speed, as if upping your reload speed isn't bad enough with speed form, you could also go and reload faster up to 29% or 29.5% as well using reload speed. Avoid instant death, as is exactly what it sounds like. There will be times when you find enemies, even at the rank of level 300 max cap, enemies who can and will literally sit down, smack your ass dead in a single go, if not damn near put you close to death. As a tank, I've been one-shotted before too. As much health, defense, and physical power my character has, he's been smacked a single time and called it a day. So what this will do is literally stopping that from happening. So if you find an enemy who's too damn strong, like, there's gonna be enemies above the rank of 300. And online. They're called special challenges, if I do recall the name of them correctly. And you will literally have to fight level 300 pluses. Level isn't everything on this game. Like, level don't mean jack shit, nothing. But it's just kind of an idea of expecting how strong your opponent's gonna be. But you could at least go in a survivor shot from this when, you know, your health is over a certain percentage. Like, this is up to 10%, you know, of your health. You know, like, you could have, like, this one's trickier for me to explain as of the percentage-wise, so I'm not really going to get too much into it. Your recharge time can be up to 22%. This literally allows your skills and this allows skills, weapon arts, and your gadgets, all three of these, to recharge faster. So if you combine, let's say, recharge time on 2 separate accessories, handgun arts your ass, you will literally never not have your shit. You will always be able to spam that shit, and it's going to be a ridiculous amount of fucking recharge. So you could literally just keep throwing landmines, grenades, whatever you wish. You could literally continuously fucking... You will mess everything up on board, and you can literally guarantee nothing could happen. You could probably lag out the game, actually. With how fast you could get shit done, you can lag out the game and crash someone's game. With how fast you could recharge stuff and throw shit on the map. Who would want to do it? I don't know, but it sounds funny enough to try. Oh, there's a lot of... Holy shit, I'm getting exhausted at even trying to explain all this shit, I'll give it that much. Item drop rate is exactly what it sounds like. I mean, I'm not going to go and try to get fancy-pantsy with this. This just increases the chances of dropping items and dropping them better. Instead of just like getting a ton of whites all the time, this will increase your chances of getting legendary or whatnot. You know, this can be maxed out at, you know, like at 37%, if I'm not mistaken, at the top of my head. So, I mean, but then you got rare item drop rate. Now, this is different. Because you have a better chance of dropping something that's supposed to be rare. So, for instance, if you have a, if you got a weapon, oh yeah, damn, I'm not even thinking about it like that. Shit, no, fuck that. That's an insane combo right there, having so much recharge time for show. But yeah, no, the difference between the item drop rate and rare item drop rate is items drop faster regularly with item drop rate, but with rare item drop rate, for weapons such as my shotgun, which is a rare weapon to get, my shotgun is a rare ass fucking gun with a rare ass chance of dropping. This will make that shotgun drop more likely. Not by much, I'll give it that, but at least it has a better amount. Excuse me. However, unlike the item drop rate, you could only up the chances by 7.45% more. Weight reduces your weapon weight up to 22%, meaning you're allowed to go and carry more. You know, you could carry a sniper rifle and a Gatling gun, some of the heaviest weapons in the game, and you could still run around as if they're damn pistols or whatnot. That's the type of weight we're talking about here. There's a reason why running weight is so much fun and so handy. But otherwise, we got medals acquired. Pretty much, there are medals in this game that you could achieve, like support, attack, and then weapon medals. This will just drop the amount you get of those medals. It just literally gives you one extra medal instead of just one. This is by far the most useless amongst all of them, because I could easily tell you where to go and get a bunch of medals for a whole lot less work. Trade value is just as useless, but at least the coins can come into play. At least with the trade value, you could get to 149.5% more of its original trade value. And then XP which is useful when you first start, especially when you first start, because you could tag this onto your all three of your companions at all times, especially at super low levels. Then you could just literally level up so much quicker. And I mean, yeah, it sacrifices your memory chips for a little while, and it makes it yeah, it takes away the ability to run around with some things, or it makes life hell. And it has its benefits, but it definitely has its downsides to it. But other than that, that is all the memory chips in game that I have to fucking talk about and explain with all the details. Cause hot damn is that is a lot to take care of, for damn sure. How you doing, little girl? But for show, that is definitely that's that. So for a little tip for players who don't actually know about it, who want to do this, usually you could go to the lobby, and the medals can be found here in the center. This is where you go to spend them. As you play through, you will gain the SP as you level up. And then after you hit level 300, you no longer gain SP. So some of what the medals are used for is right here with her. And she will sell you SP right here. She will sell you 20 of them. Or you could go to the 41. Otherwise, you could buy stuff like transformation chips if you don't want to spend the money here. And other stuff, respec kits, a bunch of miscellaneous odd job items. You could buy guns here. I personally don't recommend doing it because, yeah, you could buy clothing, other stuff. It just tells you the exchange conditions, all the other stuff. This is the medals are more or less just here for accessories. So, cosmetical uses for the most part, because let me tell you, the guns here suck ass. Or the enhancement materials, but once you really start grinding the game, enhancing your weapons will be useless. You can't do it because you already have max cap weapons. Touch me again, I don't care, I will blow your damn head off. You better walk on by too, boy. But you could buy accessories like disguises, just useless extras and stuff. I mean, just kind of a fun way to just kind of, just fun little stuff. I mean, nothing too spectacular. Just enough to kind of get a feel for everything. There's tons of different things. I will go and say that in the medal exchange, there are some things that you can only get here that you cannot get anywhere else, like the Hungry Wolf attire that I'm currently wearing, or it's technically Howling Wolf, can only be obtained here. And there's other items here that you could get, like a giant Pac-Man head. Give me 2 seconds. Fuck. But yeah, in order to get quick medals, I wouldn't worry about the accessory getting you the quick medals. I recommend just going over to our Hero Quest reception, and then just go for a party game. It's being slow to load right now. But if you need quick medals, click square. It'll show you your reward. You could also swap tabs for your sub quest, main quest, and all the other quests you could get as well to go and view the reward. So if you need more support medals, you could just kind of tag them up. As you see, you get 100 a pop here, but the easiest one to get it for is these last 3 here. And then you can kind of just choose to play as one of the 4 characters for each mission. In my personal opinion, Team Akia is the easiest to take care of because you get to choose between Kirito, Asuna, I don't even fucking know Pretty Boy's name, and then Alice. And then Alice is actually really easy. You can clear this out in about like a minute and 10 to 2 minutes. It don't take very much time at all. Just kill the behemoth, you're good to go, and it'll drop you over 300 medals and then weapon proficiency for the character you chose to play as. So if you're playing as, let's say, Kirito, he will up his proficiency, thus making his weapons stronger and better for in-game. So if you want to have him in your party, he could be of more use. I'm not actually going to play the Hero Quest right there, but it's definitely something to keep in handy. And then if you also need quick cash and you don't have any gems or whatnot out of my way, you could always run over to the shop. The only thing that they're good for, oops, I clicked that. You could always go over to your materials, and you could always find your gems. The only thing I recommend selling is gems. You could sell anything else, but I really just say to keep it, store it in your box, call it a day. But you could find your gems if you don't have gems like I don't at the moment, because I already sold mine, as shown, as I have literally no type of gem in my thing. Oh, nope, never mind. If you don't have any gems like this, want like the beautiful diamonds or anything like that, high quality sapphire, emeralds, rubies, you know, any of that stuff, then, you know, there's a good way to get cash. I'm gonna sell that off. A good way to get the money in time is to come over to the other counter and go not to the defensive. This is only because I think I unlocked it via the DLC. Go to the BOB, click square, and you can earn, for lower end, newer players who's around level 60, you could get the BOB bronze, get about 50,000 a pop, to 100, to 200, to 400. And then if you're good enough, you could actually get the, you can go and complete all 4 stages. You could get about 2 million a pop, at least to the 6 million for beating this. So you could get about 12,000, or not 12,000, but 12 million a pop for every run. So, I'm not quite sure what the, BOB or the Proof of Grandmastery does. Can't tell you something I don't know because I don't have it, because I just haven't got around to getting it yet. But, I mean, fuck you. But that's just kind of, that's just kind of what I know about trying to get a little bit of extra pocket change as well. Plus, when you're not busy and you do have extra guns that you don't need from, Elizabeth, like the trade value or white guns you don't need, you could easily sell them off here, and you could call it a day. Now, I'm gonna give like some quick demonstrations about how effective things are. I'm not gonna go through, I'm gonna go to my co-op counter here, partly to prove that people still play this, because I guarantee you someone's gonna join in, despite being so many years old. But I'm also not capable of fighting anything, because I don't want to go and like go through main story and kill everything off so damn easy. I will go into a party chat, so I'll be right back in my thing, because I don't want my voice to be here as I explain word per word of everything that I'm doing. Alright, there we go. No, I just didn't need no player coming in and fucking questioning what the hell I was talking about. Alright, so, a good way to earn XP as well is a lot of players, especially low-end players, love to come into online quests like this, like the room I just pulled up, and have us power level you. Like, there's a lot of people who like it. I don't recommend doing it, because you're robbing yourself out of the value of playing the game and grinding, but the game is grindy as hell. But, there's many quests you could do, especially low-end quests, like, a good way to do it is just kind of to go through and, you know, just complete these things, you know, step by step by step, and you'll eventually get around to doing it. If you need, some good money too, I do recommend going over to the hardcore ones, as they drop high, like, every time you do complete it, it drops you high quality sapphire to emeralds to the beautiful diamonds, so you could earn about 50 mil a pop. So, a good, as you can see, I've played and beat, I mean, all of them but the, Invitation B, because I just haven't got around to doing it yet. But, I mean, for the sake of it, I'm going to go over to, the hardcore co-op here, and I'm gonna just pop this up. Oh shit, I forgot to, you know, whatever. Honestly, it don't matter. I'm cool with using what I'm using now, although I particularly didn't want to use it. but you could kind of run through. I'm going to give some good tips and tricks about kind of how to run the game entirely. Yeah, I thought I was in assault class. I figured that much. As I said, I am an assault because my skills told me, or yeah, they're assault skills. But like as you could I'm going to show you some good tips, tricks about how to get some good combat going. Because I see a lot of players, first thing, they just dashing like this is nice, but if you really want to get somewhere, you could dash, roll. Comboing the two off will make life a whole lot easier. Bruh, I eat your damn attacks for breakfast. For sniper rifles, when I'm aiming, I like taking off my, the bullet circle. I like taking it off. Because I hate having that circle up there. And now, notice I'm not in combat. That is off guard. He just hit me with suppression, motherfucker. Ow. Alright, I'm gonna power up a little bit more. As you can see, I have not touched a healing item, but my health is gradually going up. And now I'm starting to heal a lot faster. And now I could just... My AR Veil is pretty useful. It's one of the best gadgets in my opinion. It sucks because it does cover up your sighting a bit, so you could just kind of... It could be a bit troublesome to kind of see through it, that's all. Bop. Yeah, I don't know why as well. If you walk over traps like this one, you could kind of jump and it'll kind of avoid some of the you could kind of just jump in and avoid it. Fuck you. But as you can see, it's fairly simple. Oh shit. Fuck you. Alright, I'm gonna... Owie. Not quite the loadout I was hoping to use. Alright. There's nothing wrong with playing defensively either, like this. Piss off. Piss off. Up yours. No one likes you. And go to hell. Don't be afraid to use the jump button as well. The jump button is actually kind of useful in this, actually. I'm not even gonna lie, that jump button has helped me. Because instead of unnecessarily going through and dealing with that, like you could, like mid-grapple, you could literally, instead of going all the way through, you could just cancel it by jumping, instead of unnecessarily going to the top, or wherever you grappled. This is going to take a second, I know this. But as you can see, because of the extent of my upgrades to the gun, I was capable. You don't have to... I recommend always swapping from aim assist to turning it off. Because if you turn it off like here, and you're good enough, you could literally just run through and... Bam. The aim assist would have just randomly targeted a body piece, where instead of doing it like this, I can manually choose to... I get to manually choose to aim it with the sights. I could hip fire it, align my shot, and I could hit exactly what I'm looking for. So a good tip for combat. Unfortunately, these assholes are pretty damn tough, even for me. I can't exactly take these guys down. Okay, go away before I start. Will you fuck off? I mean, the bullet circle, as you can see, once you start firing, it doesn't really go down too much while firing. I hate bullet circularization, it really does feel useless. But as you can see, even for like tough enemies with the right getup, you could use pretty much anything. I'm gonna head back to the office to swap out my sniper rifle for a true gun. Or I'm gonna say guns because, yeah, I prefer welding too. Something else to keep in mind that I did not cover while talking about the guns and the stats is if you want to dual weld guns like I was with my SMGs, you could actually go and dual weld like the sniper rifle I'm holding. My strength is at 191, and then the dex is at 26. Unfortunately, I cannot dual weld sniper rifles. It's not possible. Like Gatling guns, cannot dual weld those either. But like with my SMG here, you can. You just need exactly double. So my dexterity for my SMG has to be 200, where my strength has to be 146. So I'm gonna equip that. This weapon right here is exactly why I put so much gear weight on my stuff. So let's I'm gonna show you a full-fledged run, or hopefully a good run. How about that? Where I'm going through and where my power really does come into play about being ridiculously powerful. Alright, so I got 42 players. I am not, if I make it through this, I make it through this. I'm not invincible myself, as I've said before. This is just definitely, no player can go and do everything on their own, but you can make it tough as hell to do stuff your own. Plus, I'm pretty sure, having some action in this video would make somebody entertained. Yes, these are shotguns still, do not ask. These are one of the rarest shotguns in the game. If you want some rare, and I do mean rare guns, you're gonna have to grind out some of the side quests. You can't just hope. If you want some of the best guns or the coolest guns in game, you can't just expect the you can't just go around hoping to, oh, that was my shield matrix, oops. You can't just run through, shoot something up and hope for the drop rate. You'll have to manually, oh jeez. Sit down. You'll actually have to do the missions and stuff. Oh shit, out of ammo. Don't even. Yup, that's the type of player I am. Totally didn't just do that. As you can see though, with the right equipment, these are some of the toughest guns to get, and because they're so tough, yes, it's gonna be ridiculously overpowered. A lot of players, the higher up you'll get Type Z weapons. They're pretty useful, but Type Z I don't think is everything in game. If you want a truly nice gun, you will have to run through the game and manually play it. I also recommend grabbing skills to balance yourself, because as you can see, I'm definitely a heavy hitting player and I could take a heavy amount of damage. But as shown, I am not opposed to pulling out my my secondary weapon. If you plan on using one weapon primarily, like my shotgun as shown, obviously has my power form, defensive forms, and all that other stuff to keep me alive. And so I could go and wipe down my foes. But as you can see, my secondary right here are my support skills. I call them my support skills. This is my support gun. I like referring to my main gun than my support gun. It's not that it's a secondary, but a support. Because it's supposed to just be here for supportive usage, not for anything else. As you can see, I very quickly got my weapon arts up, ready to go. My stuff is constantly allowed to recharge, because as you can see, my power form is still active due to my recharge time being so fast, so I'm able to actually recharge faster. That little 100 in the upper screen as well also helps your recharge time too. So you can literally, you don't even need the debuff duration, you just need to have good recharge with high enough intelligence, and then you could literally just go, Uda, sit the fuck down. It's a lot. Oh shit. I mean, I'm making this look easy as well. I also do. Ow! Fuckwads! I also do realize I have a ridiculous build, and I'm a fucking tank as well, and I'm running a OP motherfucking shotgun. Like, there's no other way to put it. I am running some of the most overpowered shit in game, and I know it. But as you can see though, I'm being wise about it. I'm not going offensive despite being a tank and knowing I have quite a bit of hit power. I'm also being wise about my moves. Instead of going dick first into terror, like in front of these guys may be less level than I am, but these guys can and still hurt me. Even if I do regen a lot, and I do make life a lot harder, because they do have skills like this that will hurt me. Especially with like the gravity shit, that will pull me to where they want me, and it will literally make it easier for them to uphold me. I'm not using all my skills at once either, but it definitely can get troublesome, especially when you run into enemies who can uphold themselves against you. Like, as you can see, everyone else would have died sooner to my barrage of bullets. He didn't. So it's definitely showing that there's different types of enemies. Plus, I actually already had to use my healing shot and stuff. Would you fuck off? As you can see, they are still hurting me, so I do need to, despite my massive recovery, I still do hold a healing field, because the healing field allows you to heal yourself in-game without the usage of an AI to come in to help you. Now this is gonna actually be a pretty tough right here. I ran the rest of, or some of this earlier pretty easily, but this is gonna definitely be harder to do because these guys, oh man, fuck the GGO cast. I'm not even lying. Fuck them. Because they can and will fuck you up. Go away! There's also multiple ways to stop black holing me. Quit trying to suck me. Jeez. Go away. Go to hell. Come here. Shit. 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 Bye. As you can see, even with the strongest of strong builds, you cannot uphold yourself. You do need to play defensively. I'm also playing against some of the... What is this? What did I use? My healing? Oh well. But as you can see, you gotta play it wide. Are you actually healing yourself? You bitch. Hold on. You just ate an entire fucking clip. Hold up. You're a sniper. What are you doing? How are you tanking through my bullets? Sit down. Don't do it. Go away. As you can see, I'm strong, but I'm still playing defensively. A great strategy for everyone to try to play. There's too many players who get full of themselves and their power, and they will continue to try to play offensively, and they don't know when to fucking back down. No amount of power can go and stop someone from, like, as you can see, I just took a ton of damage, and now I'm dodging and rolling to go and stay out of sight to avoid getting hurt. I'm gonna heal myself up. I'm also making sure to keep my eye on their bar so I could shoot them like that. Because as shown, if you let your guard down too much, even NPCs could take you down. Can I just die? Can I just respawn? As you can see though, I'm keeping a well balance between things. And just because I'm a tank doesn't mean I have to be up there in the combat, which is pretty cool. But definitely learn your style of fighting. If you like using sniper rifles, go and use a sniper rifle. That's definitely the best thing you could do. You just gotta learn the right set of gadgets for you. You gotta find the right weapons and stuff for you. Go to hell, that's what you get for killing me. I don't like you because of story mode reasons. And you want to keep taking my... You fucker, you locked my skills. So as you see, some players will lock your skills up like this, and I can't actually use my skills. So you gotta be smart and defensive about it. Ow! Okay. I'm sorry. Go away. You know, you're pissing me off. Can I get my skill back? How long is my shit out for? Ow. Thank you. And now... Come here. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. You were stupid. I'm glad I have some of the most overpowered fucking guns in this game. Fuck you! Peace! Go away. No one asked you. Fuck. I think I went too defensive. You gotta learn to when to go defensive and when to go offense too. This is all about knowing the extent of your character and what you can do and who you've got with you. I also recommend to get used to and to not get used to your companion, because if you can't run something like this by yourself, if you cannot test your own power and you cannot run the game without knowing how much you really can do, you're gonna be in some serious trouble. Because you definitely need to, Why the fuck? Go away! Go away, you guys are being a pain in the ass. I don't like you either. Go away. Fuck you and your damn bullet shit. Stop healing yourself, you're making it a pain in the ass. As you can see, my gun was auto-reloading, allowing me to keep firing. That is what auto-reload does. It's an insane skill, especially for something like this where it allows me to keep being abusive. Stop fucking healing yourself, you bitch. Jeez. But as you can see, the power gap really didn't matter. These guys were lower than I was, but still definitely kicked my ass. And as you can see, it was definitely a whole nother degree of how much of a difference there was in power. But as you can see, I learned, like, you gotta learn yourself, you gotta test yourself, you gotta make sure you're well-rounded, in my opinion. If you're not well-rounded enough to go and perform your own duties alone and you can't fight alone, then I'm gonna say you got some serious problems. But I mean, you gotta find the good gear, you gotta complete quests. The quest is where you get the good gear. You don't just get good gear by spamming. And Type Z is nice, but as you can see, my Type Z SMG was definitely my support gun. It was a no match for my actual shotgun.
as shown, as my shotgun really did outshine every other fucking, like my other two. Even my sniper rifle didn't do nearly as much. And my sniper rifle had, like, literally 5 digits of power to it, where my shotgun only had, like, 4. So it really comes down to your fact of how you play. Follow what I recommended for both new and old players. I'm not going to go into specifics of how to do each mission or how to do all that. You could figure all that out yourself. I went and was trying to give a guide of how to become a more effective player and how to make the most out of your character. And how to get and level up faster and stuff like that. And deal with weapon proficiency, all that other stuff, you know, the basics of the game. The basics of how it's ran. Not just about trying to be running with Type Z weapons, not with running stuff that you can't die with. Or, you know, trying to make an OP build or whatnot. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't show you a damn thing about how my build is. I didn't explain a single thing of why my build's the way it is. And that is the key of learning someone's build. Take my build, try to use it, but you won't play it the same because you don't know what I do with it or why I run what I run for what I run. But learn, like, my biggest advice is to go and make sure to have equipment that suits your playstyle and to go and pretty much adapt your playstyle to to go and match the way you like. Once you can really get into this, oh man, you got everything. But as far as I'm concerned, there's not really much more I can go and say to teach about the basics and the base of the game. As literally I went over all the memory chips, the transformation, the shops, everything. Like there is one other thing that I could really go and there might be one thing I might be able to go and say as well. Because I'm not going to go into main story, I'm not going to go into where to find specific guns, where to do all that. Because there's just so much, there's so much in-game that you have to worry about. Like, I could tell you where to get some special items, like, there are special items. For the most part, when you're going through, you will find, your main guns you will find will be Type Zs, and then just basic, guns. Like, these are obviously, for the most part, basic guns. I guarantee anyone will probably go and recognize any of these weapons. Like the Peacock and all this other stuff. These are basic guns to everyone. Everyone should have seen all this type of stuff already. Hell, even with these Type Zs, everyone's seen them. But for really special guns, like, when I call guns special, I mean, like, they have named guns. I'm not talking about, like, you know, the fact that it was, the Rapier Mark III isn't a named gun. What I mean is, for instance, like, when I call something a named gun, AR Blue Rose Mark III, this is a named gun. This doesn't have your base name like the Type AR EX or the Rapier. No, those are base guns. Your main gun has a special name. Your special guns have a very unique and rare look to them. Something you won't easily find. Like the Type C, this I've noticed is a little more unique of a design. I don't find this everywhere I go. I find this everywhere. Light machine gun, at first I didn't find them. Light machine guns start becoming more rare later game. The Castor, a more rare gun. Like, if there's a special name to the gun, it's a rare gun, from how I like looking at it. Something like the Dragon Killer is a little more of a special name, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, when the gun has a more unique name to it, that, like, a Titan is just a basic Gatling gun. The Bennett Snatch, main Gatling gun, but something like the World, that is a more unique Gatling gun. The Supernova, all these are just basic things.
in comparison to like if the gun says gold, now that's a unique weapon, stuff like that. Or if the like what really makes them unique is if they really have a unique design that you only seen with that one gun. Like everyone's seen these proton swords and shit like that, or death guns, metal sword, but I mean not everyone, and I do mean not everyone, has seen one of these puppies around. This is a more common sword. I have not seen anyone, and I do mean anyone, run a Blue Rose. I've seen only one player run its superior, Gaius Keter. And these are very rare swords, which can only be obtained in one way. These are unique swords due to the fact they can only be found from one place. My Royal Guard, the shotgun that I was using, that literally fools a lot of players into thinking it's a fucking assault rifle or whatnot. Those are rare weapons that can only be found in select places. I could tell you this and the Blue Rose, these can be found in the Abyssal Dungeon. This can be found in the alright, so like that could be found in the White Frontier down, yeah, that could be found in the White Frontier in the, I want to say, no, it should be it's one of these. I'll find it. It'd be in the Icicle Prison Depths. That's where you find the other sword, is in the Ice Prison Depths. Otherwise, you need to go through the DLCs. The more, like, to find the guns you want, just kind of really look into it. Now, I will give another tip about unique guns as well. Is, especially for DLC weapons, like, there are DLC guns in the game. You'll know they're DLC when you're looking at players like, for instance, like, Pito, she has a rare and a unique gun. The East and West, I've only seen that drop in one location so far, and that's in the BOB. So, if you want to go and figure out some special guns, look at each of the characters and what they're running. For the most part, base game characters will be running base game equipment, which isn't too spectacular. So if you really want that good stuff, you'll have to look at the DLC characters, assuming you got them. And because obviously these guys are all running unique weapons or more rare weapons, special named weapons, etc, etc, etc. Like, the reason why I went after the Royal Guard Gold is because of the missions where I got to play as Alice. I played with her shotgun, I liked it, I wanted it, and I went looking for details for it. And I'm not going to go into details to find every little weapon for you. You want to find them, you do it yourself. I told you what I needed to tell you. As of that, there's not much more to really explain about the game, as the basics were really covered. I can't tell you about the controls or how to play, because that's what the game's tutorial is for. If you skipped it, that's on you, you're a fucking moron. Like, come on. There's only so much one could teach, and one could go and drop about information. So, I mean, I told you all the basics that I know. If you want more information about build particulars, I mean, you could always drop comments and ask questions if you want. I really don't care. I'll see about trying to put together what I can, as my level allows me to kind of manipulate, you know, and change stuff to go and kind of explore the best options. But I don't mind doing, like, specific build types. But as far as I'm concerned, for the ultimate grand scheme of how to get in this game and all the main details and stuff that literally so many players have overlooked or don't utilize due to the fact they just don't know what the hell they're doing with it, this is supposed to go and help get the grand scheme of everything. So there's not much more I could really go and explain or teach to go and help make you a more effective fighter. Will you shut up? I ought to smack you with your own cap. But yeah, no, I mean, when it comes down to it, that's the best I could do for you guys. If you want to level up quicker, like I said, just put on the accessories where it needs to go. Do side quests and stuff.
something I am going to bring up to attention as well, especially for new players, hell, even for old players, for both of us. If you go to your sub quest, you could actually continuously re-accept these quests. So if you need, let's say, certain materials like screws or whatnot, you could literally go over and keep spamming these, and they'll give you that. So you could just keep spamming these over and over and over and over. So you could just keep getting stuff. So if you need to go and gain extra materials, it's a good way to get passive XP, money, materials without having to really do nothing, especially for certain things like the barrage automatron. You're going to be fighting these all game, so you might as well just keep accepting them, and at least you get the credits for it. Now, there's one thing I can't answer that I myself actually question, but I can I could answer it to an extent. So when there says, fuck you. So when it says EXP and it says doll, or let's say, Shirley for the quad armor plates. I don't exactly know what it means by that, and no, it doesn't put it in your inventory. These go to those character specific players, so I'm not quite sure how, like, what the fuck that's supposed to mean. The only thing I know for sure is if you do something like the Boreal Storm Hunt, where you have to, do whatever, and it gives you the XP is the only thing that jumps from place to place, so. But that's as far as I'm aware, is the XP is the only thing that's been given, so just spam those as well while you're running through to get the best of the best, and you'll eventually get it. So with that being said, I have nothing more left I need to explain, so I mean, yeah, like, I am out of this bitch. I've explained too much.